So yesterday we did make our video talking about Game 3 between the Boston Bruins and the Toronto Maple Leafs, but in this video we are going over one of the guys that we kind of talked about a little bit. We called him out, but we could go into a bigger discussion about this based off of some extra comments. Today we are asking the question as to whether or not Mitch Marner's time in Toronto really is coming to an end. Now, Marner, as everybody knows, is one of the top-paid guys on this team. He's making $10.9 million a year till the end of next season. He will be eligible to sign an extension by the time July 1st comes around, but for now, the question is he going to do that? He's 26 years old, 6 feet, 172, right-handed guy, and this season he's got 1 assist in 3 playoff games. That 1 assist came yesterday, the Matthew Knies pass, and other than that, he has been pretty invisible. 85 points, 69 games played, 99 points last year, 97 the year before that. He has not cracked 100 yet, but he is in that territory where we all kind of recognize, yeah, he's good enough to do that. He was over a point per game last season in the postseason, but most of those points came against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Against Florida, he completely went dry. If you head over to Mitch Marner and his game log, I think I should be signed in. Yeah, okay, let's sign back in here. Yeah, so Mitch Marner had 1 assist in the Boston series. If you go back to last year, Marner had 2 points in Game 4 against Florida, 1 point in Game 2, but that was about it. Most of the production he had in the postseason came against the Tampa Bay Lightning. But realistically, when you talk about Mitch Marner and his overall point production ability, there is a good quality to his offense. He knows how to play in the perimeter. He can make passes, he can do things, he's good. But the question is he the guy that you can rely upon when the going gets tough and when you need him the most? Let's go over onto some comments made by former goaltender of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Andrew Raycroft, because he had joined the First Step crew to tee up Game 3 between the Leafs and Bruins. He also talked about Boston's goalie rotation and the respect shown to the Leafs from the Bruins. Now, this, of course, is an audio hit. If you want to go ahead and listen to it, it will be in the description. But to get some words as to what Raycroft said, we're going over onto this article from hockeylatest.com that goes out there and transcribes some of Raycroft's comments on Mitch Marner. Take a look at this. I said to a few people when Marner went after the media about the ankle injury 3 weeks ago, he's done. I've been there. I've answered a question like that in that market, and that guy is never coming back from that. I think we're seeing some of that right now. He can score goals and they can go on and win, but not everyone is coming back from that comment. No one is going to forget it. Everyone is always going to go back to it. Every game he doesn't get a point, they'll go back to him having a bad attitude or whatever reason, and when he scores, they're going to say he should have done it because he makes $10 million a year. It's unfortunate for Mitch. He certainly wasn't good the first 2 games. He was hard to find out there sometimes. That doesn't mean he can't get 3 assists tonight. He can't get 4 points in Game 4. He has that kind of talent, but just watching how the media has switched on him and then doing this in the playoffs, this isn't going away, even if he plays great the next little while. The article then says that Raycroft seems to be pretty certain that there's no coming back from calling out the media and then playing poorly when it matters most, but only time will tell what Marner's future in Toronto holds. Raycroft is known by fans everywhere as the goalie that the Leafs traded Tuukka Rask for, most likely one of the biggest trade blunders in Leafs history. Now, that is, that's besides the point. But this is an interesting thing that we did not talk about much here on the channel, but when Mitch Marner was going through the injury thing, there was a lot of speculation and a lot of comments, a lot of questions, and a lot of backlash, because nobody was really saying anything. The media was going out there talking to Mitch about it. He was biting back at the media. And from Raycroft's perspective, because Marner went after the media and because he's been playing poorly and now everybody's tagging on him again, it seems more likely that he's going to be done with this team at some point. By the time you get to that point, no one's going to forget it. There's no reason for him to want to put himself in that kind of position to extend in Toronto and maybe get subjected to that kind of thing even more in the future, because Marner, as we had said, $10.9 million a year is a lot of money. And this contract, we all can recognize that when it was signed back in 2019-20, it was kind of an overpayment already when it was given to him in the first place. So him making 10.9 from ages, what is he now, 28 6 years old, so 2020 was 5 years ago. From 21 to 26 years old, pretty much, he is making 10.9. There is a very real and legitimate argument that he should be getting more on his next contract. It's just a matter of whether or not the Leafs will be the team that gives him that money. Does he go to free agency? Does he become the next big fish free agent guy like Johnny Gaudreau? Does he demand a trade to go elsewhere? I don't really see the trade route going through because knowing the Toronto media sphere, if anybody requests a trade out of that city, you're probably going to hear it for the next few decades, not going to lie. But Mitch Marner could very well up and away leave Toronto, especially with the idea that because he's already been scrutinized so much and because he's already going after the media, there's no way he's going to want to stick around. There was a Twitter post earlier this week, actually, of Steve Simmons and the entire Toronto Sun article, the newest Toronto Maple Leafs dissection of their play and the entire Mitch Marner Invisible Man thing. Here it is. The Invisible Leaf. When the Buds need him the most, Mitch Marner is pulling off his usual playoff disappearing act. This was the front page of the Toronto Sun. A picture of Mitch Marner with him cut out Invisible Man Universal Studio style. That is savage. Very, very savage, and totally not something that any hockey player would want to see of themselves. Especially when you talk about all the other stuff that has been piling on this over and over and over, criticizing his playoff play, criticizing him due to injury, criticizing whether or not he's really a fit for this team, criticizing him over the years, throwing the puck over the glass and all this stuff. Mitch Marner's career in Toronto has been so up and down that it's really difficult to try to label out where it's going to go from here. And I mean, some of the replies, this publication is embarrassing. People will wonder why some people don't want to play here. The only thing disappearing is your relevance. It's been 2 games, yada, yada, yada. A lot of people are really defending Marner on this, which you can't go out there and deny is probably a good thing. But the media is its own body in Toronto, and Marner seems to have been the whipping boy for so many years that to hear Andrew Raycroft, of all people, be one of the guys to go out there and say, yeah, no, this kind of signals to me what the future could hold here. It is kind of interesting. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as to Andrew Raycroft's comments on the First Up 1050 show in regards to Toronto Maple Leafs forward Mitch Marner and whether or not he actually is done with this team. He's totally talented enough to play and produce, but at this point, I mean, Raycroft said it best. If he does score, everybody's going to say he should be able to score because he makes $10 million a year. And when he doesn't score, which is quite often the case here in these playoff games, that's when everybody piles up on him. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Do you really think Mitch Marner's time in Toronto is coming to a close? And do you think 25 is going to be the last season he has? Or do you think he sticks around? Does he play in Toronto for the rest of his career? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.